This is AO Sports. How you guys out there doing today? If you're tuning into my channel today, don't miss this. I'm going to get in some topics that got to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers and how things unfolded this season. You know, it starts from the top. It starts from Tomlin as being a football coach, but I'm going to go there by basically telling you the reasons why I feel like the NFL is not allowing the black coach to basically succeed in the NFL. Knocking him as a coach, the bad calls, constantly getting the bad calls every single game, not getting the calls that can lead Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl. They've been going through this for a long time. A team has not been able to withstand the calls that they get, leading us to distractions and leading us to destruction in Pittsburgh. Bell was a great running back led by a great dynasty that was broken up by the NFL. NFL broke up the dynasty of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the NFL has allowed this to unfold for Pittsburgh this year, and cheating that's constantly going on in the NFL that allow things to go on with Pittsburgh. As him being a black coach, I look at certain things as a coach and the stuff that Tomlin has gone through and the cheating that's involved with the refereeing and not allowing the Pittsburgh Steelers to reach their true potential of the team. But the NFL is not allowing things to go on with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not only Tomlin, but all as black coaches that I see in the NFL that's constantly getting the bad calls, that's constantly leading them to not having jobs. It's not fair for Tomlin have to answer calls at the end of the season that has to do with the refereeing, dictating the football games, dictating the way things unfolded in Pittsburgh. For Juju to get the ball at the end zone, for Juju to get the ball in the middle of the football field, you know, Brown to be upset for him not to get the ball at the crutch moment of the game. Great players are always wanting to be great. I'm not upset with the way Brown plays the game. He wants to be great, and you got to understand greatness when it's there. He wanted the football in his hands for him to be great. Juju's a young player. A lot of stuff was in that bag. Tomlin was in that bag. Ben was in that bag. Poundsley was in that bag, you know. Even Juju was in that bag. A lot of the players was in that bag. Watt was in that bag, so a lot of them tried to basically get back and win the game, but things unfolded for Pittsburgh, and the way it did unfold for them in this year, it had a lot to do with the NFL not allowing us to get where we wanted to get to. We're upset up here in Pittsburgh. Not only that, we're upset about the calls. We're wondering why we constantly getting these calls, but we already know that I know that there's a fact that all the black coaches are getting all the bad calls. But I just gotta say this: if NFL wants to be fair, they gotta shore up those calls, be fair on both sides of the football field. They can't constantly call bad calls in the middle of the game. It's 4th and 2 in the New Orleans football game, and Hayden makes a stop. The ball was tipped from the top and to it, and the football game should have been over. But they allowed the New Orleans to march down the football field and win the football game. Pittsburgh was truly the better football game in that game, and they should have been in the playoffs this year, but the NFL cheated the Pittsburgh out of getting where they need to get to. And for James Harrison to constantly be out there, you know, the rat of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know, for him to be upset and for him to say the things that he's constantly saying, you know, number 92 was a great player, and for him to be disrespecting our organization, and for him to constantly be on the page and talking about how Tomlin's not a great coach and how he needs to be more disciplined onto his players, and he needs to know how to treat his players a lot more better. I don't understand James Harrison. The James that I knew was a great player, a great player that can go out there and lay a quarterback on his ass. But he's the kind of player now that I know that's basically in the media, giving the media what they want. I looked at you the type of player that you was. You was a hood dude. I didn't look at you as the kind of guy that would sit there and be up on the media talking about things that destroying a franchise that you used to play for just to get ranks and get, you know, for you to do all that type of stuff and for you to be put in an organization that you play for years and years that gave you an opportunity to be the player that you wanted to be when you got that chance. You're a former Baltimore Raven player, and now that the Pittsburgh Steelers had cut you at the middle of the season, I thought you was a brighter guy than that. But now I'm looking at you differently from the way you are. You're not a Hall of Fame in my book, because if you was a Hall of Famer in the Pittsburgh book, you wouldn't be trying to be bashing your former coach. He's a black coach that's struggling to win another Super Bowl. Only one black coach I've ever known to basically stick by his players the way he does. Like, it was 2 of them, several of them. There was several coaches, but for them to be getting the calls that they get, look at the math and do your math right. And if you look at the coaches that are black, they're the ones that getting all the bad calls and causing them to lose their job. Tomlin was doing a great job this year. His team was supposed to be in the playoffs, but the NFL didn't allow that to happen. They basically dropped the bag on the Pittsburgh Steelers this year and not allowed them to get into the playoffs. They're the ones to truly be blamed. I'm not looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers this year for things that unfolded. And if you're tuning to my channel today, don't forget this AL Sports. Don't forget to tune to my channel today and leave your likes. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And you take care.